Persona 5 on the surface may seem like it's a nice, happy, and just power friendship type game, but when you actually sit there and think about some of the things that happens in this game, it can be pretty scary and just disturbing to actually think about. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about is what you see pretty early on in the game, and it's the whole Shiho situation. It's a pretty disturbing topic to talk about just because of how real this whole situation could be. It's where the teacher Kamoshida is abusing her and just sexually harassing her because she's on his volleyball team and he thinks he's so much higher than everyone on the team, so he thinks he has free reign to do whatever he wants. And it got so bad to the point where she actually tried to kill herself, and she went onto the roof for the whole school to see, and she jumps off of the roof and luckily lives, but she could have easily died there, and that would have been just completely tragic. The main reason why this is so disturbing is just because this can happen to pretty much anyone if they have a horrible teacher or just any horrible peers that just happens to them. And it's crazy how early on they really make you witness all this. But, well, I guess it makes you want to get rid of all these rotten adults even more just because of how horrible they actually are. The next thing I want to talk about that is also very disturbing and it's just very cruel is Futaba's whole situation, where these people in black suits, is what's said in the backstory, just came over and just killed her mother, and then have all these fake letters come out of just saying how much her mother actually hated Futaba, and how the whole reason why she killed herself is because of Futaba and how annoying she was and how needy she was. It's just completely terrible that they did this to her, and just so disturbing when you think about it, of how if this really does happen in real life to just a child, how traumatic it is. I mean, you can see how traumatic it was on Futaba. You have to just completely change her cognition for her to actually be able to function as a human being. That's how much of a traumatic experience it was. And that's why I just find this whole thing to be so disturbing, because, well, not only do the people want to go in there and kill Futaba's mother for her research, they also just made Futaba feel this horrible way because she thought that she was the reason why her mother died. They just did more than they needed to, and it's very disturbing that people are actually like this, and it could honestly happen in real life as well, and that just makes it all the more disturbing when you really sit there and think about the whole situation. Now, the next part that is also very disturbing when you see inside the game, and just also when you full on just think about it, is when Okumura is on the public meeting and then just dies on the camera. Not only are you witnessing some guy like get all this black foam out of his mouth and all this liquid and just full on dying on camera, it's also one of the people's parents that are just dying right in front of her eyes on camera, and that is just a horrible thing to think about. Because even though he was not really that great of a father to Haru with all this arranged marriage and stuff, he's still her father nonetheless. I don't think I'd ever get over it, to be honest. It's honestly shocking how well she takes it. I know it is like bad at first, but throughout the story she kind of doesn't really seem that down anymore, and I think that would like just destroy me for the rest of my life, seeing my father just dying right in front of my eyes. I guess technically not right in front of my eyes, but on camera. That's just terrible. Even from an outsider's perspective, just watching someone slowly die on camera is just a bad thing nonetheless. So just witnessing that in general is just terrible. And also, you must feel terrible because she just joined your party thinking that you're going to change his heart, and now that you think that you're the ones that actually killed him, that must be a terrible feeling as well, because, well, now you have the burden of trying to have her know that you guys didn't actually kill him, even though you guys don't know if you did it or not. Just that whole thing, the whole process of going through it, I feel like it would just be a tremendous, like, traumatic experience for anyone going through it. And I'm surprised how well they're able to just go through it, to be honest. I would not be able to recover from this whole situation. I feel like it would just be terrible. Now, even though it's not real, even though I guess in one ending it actually is real, but the whole part where Kechi just goes into the interrogation room and shoots Joker in the head, I feel like that is just honestly very disturbing just to look at, because you're pretty much watching this main character go through the whole game, and then as this cutscene plays out, you're just seeing him get shot directly in the head and just die on the table. Like, when I was first watching that, like, I honestly thought that I'd probably got a bad ending or something, like I didn't do something correctly, because he just literally died right there. And if you actually rat out your teammates, that is actually the ending you get. Akechi doesn't go into the metaverse and shoot the fake Joker. He actually shoots Joker himself. So it's just, seeing that ending too is just terrible. Actually seeing Joker die right there as well is just honestly awful. And I can't believe this game would just actually show him getting shot directly in the head, and how he's actually able to cover it up and just He even killed the police officer right in front of him as well. Even though he was in on the whole thing, he still got killed in the end. Like, the whole situation is just terrible. Akechi is just, even though he is a bad guy, he does turn good later. I love Akechi, but it's still a very disturbing scene to watch. And also with Mementos, when it fuses with the real world, I think this is definitely the most disturbing part of the whole game, just because of how real it feels when you're watching, where the Mementos fuses with the real world and you're just seeing the party just slowly die right in front of your eyes. The reason why it's so just disturbing is just because of how realistic everyone looks. Like, their facial expressions really just bring out how terrified they look, and it's honestly just crazy how detailed their facial expressions are, and just how long the scene goes of seeing everyone slowly fade out thinking they're dying. This is another part of the game where I really did think I got a bad ending this time, just because like they were actually all just dying right there on the floor and no one was caring at all. They were all just walking past them, and crazy to watch. Like, imagine you're dying on the floor, slowly fading out, and since no one believes in you, they just completely walk past you like nothing is even happening on the floor. So you're just dying, and even though it's in the just public, no one's even batting an eye, just because like they can't see you since they don't believe that you're real. It's kind of like you're just dying alone, and it's just honestly a scary thought, and it's honestly just disturbing to watch. And now, the scariest and most disturbing part of the entire game. I know I said that about the last one, but I lied. There is one thing that is more disturbing, the scariest thing you'll ever experience in this entire game. Human Morgana. No one should be able to witness this thing, and yet they show it to us right there. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching what I thought to be the most scariest and mainly disturbing parts of this game. And I can't believe like all their stuff is in the game, coded by all the power of friendship and just lighthearted topics in the game. I know there's probably more that I didn't discuss, but this is just what I thought to be the most disturbing parts of the game. That is why I picked these ones in specific. Comment down below other parts that you think are more disturbing. I would love to see them if I missed any. And if you liked the video, leave a like. And if you just like the content in general, make sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you did. I'm close to 200, and it would be awesome if I actually reach 200. I never even expected to get past 100, so being almost at 200 is crazy to me. So thank you everybody so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.